What the fuck is up, Baller Nation? And it is finally here. We've waited all year. The play-in tournament debuts tomorrow for the NBA on Tuesday. And that's when our channel, Ballers on a Budget, will become live. We'll start posting to YouTube, posting to Facebook more, the other social platforms, Twitter, maybe Instagram, but for sure Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. So be sure you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it. But right now we're breaking down the East for the play-in tournament, a two-time debut. I'm pumped. I'm ready. Let's fucking get it. All right, first matchup, the 8 versus the 7 seed, the Washington Wizards versus the Boston Celtics, where Washington Wizards come in with the third overall offense, really good offense. They've been very consistent on that point. Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal have been sure to help that on the front. But the bad thing is that they have the worst defense in the league, and they cannot stop any team in the NBA from scoring over 100 on them. Where if you go from the Boston Celtics, who should be the better team in this, have a mid-tier rated 16th offense and 15th defense. They've always been floating around the mid-tier for both of these throughout the whole season. And right now it looks like their hopes and dreams have just come crashing down because the Celtics aren't the team we all thought they would be. Same with the Wizards. We thought the Wizards were going to be a bottom barrel team after the trade. That hasn't happened, and now they're in the damn playoffs. So surprise, surprise. All right, let's get into it. For the Celtics, in the past 5 games, they've only won once. So without Jaylen Brown, the Celtics team looks to struggle against anybody who's even close to sniffing 500. The only bright side for this, since the Celtics were locked up at 7th seed for the final couple games, they were able to rest a lot of their players. A lot of them had a couple nagging injuries that this rest may really help. Is it rest? But with that rest, will they grow rust? You know what I mean? There's always that kind of issue. But rust, and they're playing hot. Who knows? We'll see. But let's dive into these injuries a little bit. Kemba Walker with a neck injury, has missed the past 3 games, but should be good to go. Neck and rest. All of these have injury implications to it, but I think a lot of it right now was Bradley Stevens just saying, let's get some rest. Let's heal these players up as much as we can before we have to play again for this one game winner, move on. You know what I mean? Kemba Walker with the neck injury. Marcus Smart also missed the final 3 games due to rest and to fully heal his nagging calf injury. Evan Fournier missed the last game of the season due to rest and a knee injury. Should be good to go. Tatum is labeled for an ankle impingement, but from the rumors I heard, there is absolutely nothing wrong with him. They just needed to put a label on him so that they could rest without any recommendations, maybe a fine or whatever. You know how the NBA does not like when people rest their starters. Kawhi. Robert Williams hasn't played since May 9th with a toe injury, but has indicated all good for this game in the play-in. And Double T has missed the final 2 games. They say it's a chest injury, but I wasn't seeing any issues. I think the last 2 games were just rest for him as well. A lot of rotation players. They've had to slap some injuries on there just so they were able to put them on the report so they could rest them. We're on the other side for the Washington Wizards. They're obviously going to miss Denji for the rest of the season for a broken ankle. And Raul Neto has missed the final 2 games and is questionable for Tuesday to a hamstring injury, but they said don't be surprised if he suits up and he gets out there anyways. Bradley Beal came back from a 3-game absence and helped the Wizards beat the Hornets, a very important game for them that jumped them from 10th, cleared at 8th over Pacers and Hornets, so good for them. Good job, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal did go on to admit that he is not 100% from this hamstring injury, but even not at 100%, he put up 35 minutes, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. So get it, Bradley Beal. And Russ and Beal right now, man, they're so hot. And then Neto, just if he plays, that just helps the guard play for the Celtics. Thomas Bryant is out, has been out for a minute. He's underwent season-ending surgery. So that's obviously, so Celtics have the bigger big men in the team. Washington clearly has the better guard play. We'll see how this plays out. But ultimately, I think Celtics just look atrocious right now, and Washington is actually playing kind of hot. In the midseason, we were kind of calling them Goliath beaters because they were just beating a bunch of the top 5 teams in the league. They've kind of cooled down a little bit, but I'm going with the hot-handed Washington Wizards. Now, how I think this is going to play out, I think this was from my understanding. 8 and 7 will play. The winner moves on. They instantly get that 7 seed locked up. 10 and 9 play. The winner of 10 and 9 will then go on to play the loser of 8 and 7. The winner moves up here, solidified into the playoffs in number 7. The loser will have another chance to redeem themselves and get that 8th spot. So the winner at 9 and 10 have to win twice to get that 8th spot. And over here, you win once and you're locked up for the 7th spot. But the loser of 9 and 10 will be bumped off entirely, only one game, so no faulting there. So at least if the Celtics win or lose, they can get another shot of redeeming themselves. But ultimately, I do think they are the shakiest team in this play-in tournament on the East side. So I'm taking the Washington Wizards to move on, and then Boston Celtics will be down here first thing, the winner of the Charlotte and Pacers. Now, Hornets and Pacers. Hornets come in with the 23rd offense and 20th defense. And the Pacers come in with a very good 6th offense and a bad 22nd defense. Both of these teams are interesting. Hornets kind of they shit the bed late. Hornets have dropped the past 5 games in a row. And from the 8th seed playing the Celtics, dropping down to the 10th, and now they have a harder matchup with the Pacers, I personally think. So they did themselves no favors by not winning when the regular season really counted down to clutch time. And the Pacers haven't been the greatest team either. They split the last 4 games, and the only bright side is they won against the 76ers. They are coming in a little banged up and will miss some players, and some will be up in the air. One being Edmund Summer. He's questionable. Missed the last 4 games with a bruised knee. Karis LeVert left the last game of the season due to a headache. He played 20-some minutes. He should be good to go. Malcolm Brogdon. Now, this is the biggest question and asterisk for me, is this Malcolm Brogdon. He hasn't played since the end of April and is questionable for the play-in with a hamstring issue. He's averaging 20 points on the season, and they cannot afford to miss Brogdon. I think Brogdon is a huge asterisk because if he doesn't play, I think Hornets take it handily. If he does play, I think the guard play with the Pacers will be good enough to be able to take him down and surprise him. Jeremy Lamb is unavailable for Tuesday's game with a knee injury, and he hasn't played since mid-April. So, I mean, that's not really shocking to anybody. But they will also be missing a key piece. Sorry. The Hornets will be missing a fucking key piece with Gordon Hayward, obviously missing the rest of the season, unless they go deep into the playoffs, which isn't happening. So, missing Jeremy Lamb, Gordon Hayward, and then on this side, they might miss Malcolm Brogdon. Cody Martin also has an ankle injury on the report, has been out the past 2 weeks, and is probable for this game, but I don't think he's a huge factor in this game. Mainly, it's got to be that Brogdon, man. It's got to be that Brogdon. And I am taking the Pacers for this one because I do think Brogdon plays. I mean, you're in a play-in tournament. This is the first time this has happened in NBA history. You don't want to miss it. Regardless if you're 100% or not, you don't want to miss this. And knowing that if you sit on the bench, they're missing a key factor, 21 points, 5 or 6 assists a night. I mean, come on. They cannot miss Brogdon, and they won't. I'm taking the Pacers. Hornets get dropped off entirely. Pacers move up to play the Boston Celtics. Wizards advance automatically, get that number 7 seed, and then ultimately versus the Celtics at Pacers, I take the Pacers, but we'll wrap that up later in another video. Just with a breakdown of the East, I know only 2 games. They're going to be short videos, so I can go in depth with a little bit more within the matchups and stuff. But it's just I think this is going to come down to depth. So I'm going to post the depth chart for all 4 squads and just take a look and see what you guys think. Be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment, see what you guys think. Follow all the social media. All the links are in the description. This is Cody with the debut for Ballers on a Budget, the play-in edition, and I'm out.